I know the 3 pillars of health are strength, good cardiovascular health, and stiff mobility. But as time marches on, these 3 things can kind of make an exit out the side door if you're not keeping an eye on them. Plus, I've spent a lot of the last 49 years sitting down. So I think I've got a lot of tightness in here in my hip flexors, as well as my lower back. And I'm finding that I'm getting an anterior tilt. So instead of sort of standing up straight, I'm kind of doing that a bit more than I would like. So inspired by another YouTuber, Laura Try. If you're not subscribed to her channel, it's very, very good. I thought, why not learn the ultimate move in hip flexibility, the splits. Here I am on day 1. Let's try the right side first. Oh, you fighter. I may have bitten off more than I can chew. This video may not see the light of day. So here's my right side. Let's just have a look at... Here's my left side. Oh, I've got some work to do. A hot gym, I just did my normal yoga sessions, and then I would do some more specific leg stretches. I started by just hanging out on some yoga blocks for a few minutes, and then I would remove the yoga blocks and just try and relax into the position. I was surprised how much DOMS I got from just doing these exercises, but I was determined not to push too hard because I really did not want to get injured. So here I was at the start on my left side, and 1 week later, I mean, I've not seen this from the side, so I'll review this back and I think I'll be encouraged, but it's just slow progress. But I can now get my calf onto the floor, which I'm sure I couldn't do before. But it does feel like I've got a long way to go here. To be honest, doing these 5 minutes on each side every day, or 5 days a week, it's a little bit of a chore. One thing I have found is I've had a hip problem now for several months. It is just so much better. I spent hundreds on physio for this hip, and I've made more progress in the last 5 days or 7 days than I've made in the last 7 months. So each side's slightly different. Let's check the right side. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, and here we are. It feels as hard as it did before, but I'm sure I'm lower, and I'll look back and I'll see. I've not looked. My calf definitely wasn't on the floor. I'd like to get the hamstring and quad on the floor. That's the ultimate goal, and be able to kind of be upright like this. Week 2 started with me feeling like I'd had enough. Although I was only doing 10 minutes in the splits, 5 minutes on each side, the fact that they were 1 minute intervals, when I factored in the warm-up time, the transition time, and the rest period between each attempt, it was close to 25, 30 minutes on top of my normal workout. It's also not the nicest position to be in when you're actually down there, but I do know that we can train ourselves to do hard things. In previous challenges, I wanted to train myself to be able to do 10 muscle ups. It took me 10 months of training, and I nearly got it. I got 9, but that was enough for me. They were very difficult. After that, I decided that I wanted to do a 1.2 meter box jump, which is 47 inches. I managed 108 centimeters cleanly, which is 43 inches, and just got the 1.2 meters. By the end of the week, I was feeling more encouraged, and I was using the P&L technique, which is where when you're in the position, the splits position, you kind of very gently press down into the floor for a few seconds and then relax, and then just keep repeating that. And it did seem to help me get a little bit further as the days went on. And then came week 3, and this is where I just hit a wall. I'd had enough. I wasn't making any more progress, and the time was just getting to me. So every day, 5 days a week, I do 20 minutes yoga, followed by 30 minutes strength training, followed by 30 minutes cardio. And when you're adding on another 30 minutes to practice the splits, it went from my workouts being something I really enjoy, and I do really love them, to a bit of a chore. And that's when I finally decided that enough is enough. Last year, I made a video about knowing when to quit, and I went to the Peak District in England, This road is 6 foot 6 inches thick, 2 meters thick in some places, because the local council decided to take on the peak, Mamtor, and for 70 years they kept rebuilding this road, and for 70 years Mamtor just kept destroying it. Eventually they knew when to give up, and I knew that this was now my time. In addition to that, I felt like, although I was making a little bit of progress, I was very much in the territory of potential injury. And on my very last day, I just got a little twinge, one in the back of my knee and one in my calf. And I didn't think too much of it until I got on the running machine, and then pop. I've pulled a muscle in my calf and I'm off the running machine now for who knows, probably at least 2 weeks, I imagine. So in conclusion, doing something that I actually found out I didn't really like doing has ultimately stopped me doing a lot of the things I do like doing for a few weeks. And as much as I'm disappointed that I didn't quite get to my splits, I was probably about that far off in the end, I will keep up the leg stretches because they have made a really big difference to my overall mobility. If you're hoping I was going to get there, so was I. I'm sorry I didn't do it. Until next time, see you soon.